Davis of the Catholic Family Podcast. And yeah, I didn't really plan on doing a live show until here in the last few hours primarily because I am trying out a new platform. This is being streamed on Riverside. I've used now for years the platform Restream, but I just get the sense that the Restream might be part of the connection issues. So I already have connection issues now. So maybe it is not the platform's problem. It is my German internet, which is a bigger issue because, uh, yeah, there's not much I can do about fixing the German internet. I don't really understand why for a long time it was not a problem, and then all of a sudden again it is. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But I'm trying this new platform anyway. Um, it's one that I've seen several other creators use, and so I'm going to give it a shot. I know the recording settings I've liked better on it. So the live I will see. Okay, something I already don't. Or I do see. Okay, I see the viewers up here, and boy, my connection is still bad. Mensch. Ay, ay, ay. Dominic says Starlink. That's not a bad idea, Dominic. What? How much does Starlink cost per month? If you don't mind me asking. Oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. I'm gonna have to do something about this internet because it's been part of why I haven't been on. The internet kind of gets me down, but also because we were traveling and then everybody got sick. So that is why we've had not so much content on the channel these days. I imagine Starlink must exist. It must. I'm in Germany. I'll have to look into it. I mean, we have an internet, and I've talked with the other people who are here, because we have a guest house run with my in-laws, and they don't have any problems with it, but they're also not live streaming. And I think that there's just some, yeah, I don't know, some level of connection that is just not working for me, but we'll see. I may try tonight. I'll try a reset of the internet connection. That has worked in the past. Um, yeah, I don't know. So they're saying Starlink is around 120, 130-ish. Um, I'll have to look into that. Yeah, it may have to be what we do. So that's is that satellite then, right? I assume. I mean, some sort of satellite. Is that something that it works even in bad weather? I guess it must. I mean, you guys get bad weather, so this is just unbelievable. Yeah, okay. Well, this does prove that it is not only Restream, which is what Dad had thought before. Um, yeah, for anyone who's just joining, I'm just kind of testing out this new program. I had a couple things I want to talk about. I mean, not direly. I think I'll do a couple other podcasts because I know that these live streams oftentimes get kind of lost. Boy, this connection's so bad. It'll be better to just record something anyway. Um, but a couple of ideas that I've had that I want to run out for the new year here in the next week or so. Oh, hi from Sweden. Well, good to see you from Sweden. We've not had too many viewers from Sweden, so that's pretty cool. Good to see you. Good to see a Civic contest over in Sweden. Nice. That's awesome. Dominic says remarkably good satellite. Oh yeah, maybe that's what I got to do. That might be. They keep saying that we're getting fiber cables for internet, but I don't know. I don't know if that's in the next years or I'm not sure. Fiber optic, whatever they call it. But yeah, it's the show with Bishop Wah is the one that just made me like, okay, this isn't working. Something's got to change. But the issue is I don't have that many options. Maybe it does have to be Starlink. Yeah, I'll have to see. Anyway, the two ideas that I have for next year for different types of shows, one of them is going to require a lot of help. So like a lot, like I'm going to need people to really give some of their time if they want to take part in it. It's kind of something like the Kagesos have been doing with the cartoons, but not so tough because this would only be audio, and it would actually be taking the plays, so the programs that the kids have done in Omaha for the last decades, and turning them into audiobooks. Um, I've already gotten the permission. I have the screenplays. I'm just going to need a lot of help. I'm going to need voice actors and really would love to have someone offer to edit it, which is a lot of work. You're gonna have to get, the audio recordings from all of the voice actors and then put them all together. It would be a lot of work, but I think it'd be pretty cool, pretty rewarding. And so it's something if someone has time and wants to work on a project like that, I think it'd be pretty cool. And it's something that because my daughter, my 5-year-old, she listens to this German Saint Philomena audiobook. And it's nice. I think sounds kind of like, not very professional, but done by people who cared, and the script is very good and very, very Catholic. And it's so hard to find. I'm reading I was reading these books also to my children, and they're from Newman Press. And there's stories like we just read a story about Elizabeth Ann Seton, which was very good. It was actually very well written. But it had several times in this story where it says, and then the person died and they went right to heaven to be with Jesus. And it's like, that's not, that's not exactly right. So anyway, it really got me thinking. It's like, okay, we need more material. Yeah, like audiobooks for children. I don't know if other people do that for their kids, but our kids don't really watch TV or movies. I mean, very rarely. So kind of the treat for them is to be able to listen to audiobooks. So they have quite a lot in German, and I'm sure they exist in English. I mean, I know they're out there, but that's what we like to do at Catholic Family Podcast. We like to create good Catholic material that people can just know they can trust. Like, hey, I want my children to listen to an audiobook, and I know for sure there's nothing wrong here because the script was written by the CMD sisters. So that's kind of the idea. Again, I'll do a separate video that again won't just get lost in a live stream. But throwing it out there, if anyone's watching, what do you guys think of that idea? Do you think it's a good idea? It would take a lot of time and effort, and time that I don't know if I have. So I probably will only do it if I can get someone to volunteer to do the editing. Not my parents; they already have enough on their plate. Um, but if there's anyone else out there who's interested in that, let me know. It's in the very early planning stages, but I think it would be a pretty nice thing that would take time, but doable. The other one, this is one I'm pretty excited about because I think it's a pretty cool idea that could go get past our circles, because that's also what I'm trying to do is try to get past the Sede circles, get kind of hop that wall, try to get to the other people, other Catholics to come and watch content and then stay on our channel for other traditional say Mario Dirks and Louis Verrecchio, etc. Um, and this series would be called something like the patrons, or I don't know, but patron saints. And the idea is to go through, let's say, headaches. Say, okay, say the patron saint of headaches, and I guarantee you there are 3 or 4 of them, like for sure. That's just how it works. There's patron saints for everything, and usually there's multiple. So what you do is you write a script, obviously, and you find the saints that are for this particular thing: headaches, neck aches, trying to find love, issues with your marriage, for wanting to be a priest or a nun, etc. And so there's so many you could do 100 probably of these shows, and I would try to keep them short, with 10 minutes, and hopefully high production value. I would do the delivery, so I would do the reading of the script, and my dad would probably help with the video editing. So what I would need help with would be the script writing. Now my mom can do some of it, which she's so good at. So she can take on some of these, and maybe she'll take on you know headaches and whatever. It just she can do some, but it would be nice to have other fresh voices out there who can also contribute as writers. So if that's something that anyone out there is interested in, just I know it's not like you don't have to be J.R.R. Tolkien here. You just have to be able to write nicely and interestingly. Remember, this is kind of this isn't an article. This is a presentation, so it can have fun little things, and make it really kind of quippy and fun and exciting. And I would try to deliver that so that again you're getting kind of, I don't know, it's kind of an exciting, kind of fun little video about the Saints. And I think again, I think the way I envision it, I think could be pretty cool. And if you have a high production value, 10 minutes long, you can really get people searching who's the patron saint of headaches. Boom, they find this video. It's informative, it's fun, and hopefully again it'll get them to watch the video and then sign on for more content. So that's the ideas that I have for the coming year. Of course, I still plan to do interviews. Matt and I are still going to keep doing shows whenever we can. um, I don't think too much is going to change, besides these two different ideas. But that's the point that I want to ask you guys, if anyone out there wants to help now. I certainly can't guarantee much money. If you're doing a lot of work on the editing for these plays or something, I'll definitely give you some. But we actually make less money now than we did a year ago, quite a lot less. So, and it's fine. We're not in this for the money, as you can tell. But there's not much money in what we do, so we cannot give that much, but we can give some. So if you're putting a lot of work into it, if that's what you need, a couple $100 or $100, cool. We'll work that out. But mostly we hope people would just want to do it to create good content. I mean, and I think that's something. If you do something like that, like this audiobook, the St. Philomena audiobook, I think it sounds older. Maybe it's 20 years old. I don't know. And just to have that, then that is evergreen content. And that's something that will last. And that can be, it's like your baby. You're a big part of that. You can help put that together and have that on the internet, to have good Catholic content for children and adults. And that's a big deal. And I can say that for someone who's done content creation now for what, 5 years almost. um it really matters. It really does, when you have something like, wow, that's a good video, and that's a video that is going to help bring people closer to God. That really means a lot. And I can tell you, as a former sports podcaster, this type of stuff means a lot more than that. And it's really a nice feeling. So if you have a little bit of time where you can contribute, um, it would be pretty cool. And we can try to work together for either one, whichever one you think you're more able to do. Again, like the patron show, you'd have to be a pretty good writer. So because we really need that one, not Tolkien-esque, but I mean good. You need to deliver a really good, message that's quick and fun and kind of exciting. We're not looking for, cradle sede vacantis or priests for this one. We're looking for people in the Novus Ordo, or someone who has a headache, that are, they're just interested in, oh, here you go. Here's the story about so and so. And wait, why are they the patron saint of headaches? And I think that some of them will be pretty fun, because I mean, the stories are amazing. Like, these saint stories are incredible, and just to see how they got what they became. Um, and yeah, say like cast. Yeah, I know I know it's tragic that I am friends with non-Sedes. How dare I? Probably going to be kicked outside of the church, outside of the Sede church, which doesn't actually exist, because there is no Sede church. It is the Catholic Church. And I can tell you, those videos, like with Stephen Cox, they've done a lot of good. I'm telling you, they've done a lot of good. We are helping to normalize the idea of sedevacantism. Most people outside of our sphere, when they hear sedevacantism, they think of it as a bad word. It's like, ugh, what? They're those weirdos. But if normal guys like me can go on these other shows, then yeah. And if you're saying the apologizing, yeah, the apologizing for mean, rude sedes on the internet, I think it's fairly fair. And they also, on the other side, apologize for some of their baddies. I think that's totally, totally fair. Father Borja, hi Father. True story of the Sword and the Stone, Saint Galganus. That's a really good one. My mom has a podcast on that. That's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. That would actually probably make a good audiobook if someone wants to write a screenplay for that. But I know Father Borja has acted in some of these plays. Back in the day, Father and I were in one. I mean, I know, Father, you and I acted in the St. Thomas Becket play. I think you were still in school then, right? St. Thomas Becket. Um, that one was good. Yeah. And then maybe the next year we did the Crusader King by Susan Peake. That one I'd probably have to get her permission, and if we're gonna do record that one. But that's a nice book. She's someone we've had on the podcast before. Um, so I think she'd hopefully approve. You never know. Um, but yeah. Anyway, again, anyone who wants to help with these projects, Father says yes. Yeah, the St. Thomas Becket, I assume. I'm trying to think, what was Father? I was St. Thomas Becket, of course, the star of the show. No, I'm kidding. I was not. I really wasn't that good. I don't think I had that many lines somehow. I don't. It's funny that I don't. I remember it, but I don't remember it. The only thing I remember was like I had to chant something like when I went up to say mass, like in the play when I got killed. I think I chanted like the Sit Nomen Domini Benedictum. I don't know. It's been a long time. I must have been 16, probably. So 20 years. 20 years. My goodness. Father, we're getting old. We are getting old. And again, anyone who's just joining, main reason why I'm doing this show is to see if this new program affected my internet. It has not. It's maybe been worse. Or is it glitchy for you guys? Anyone watching, is it glitchy? For me, it's crazy glitchy. Or do you see me smooth? Someone let me know. We will obviously not be doing much of podcasting over the next week or so. We want to do a live stream sometime before New Year's with maybe Matt, maybe my dad, Eric, Father Geckel. Maybe we'll have on a couple guests, just kind of talk about the year of 2025 and what we expect for 2026. Um, I'm not sure when, because as you guys know, that it's kind of hard to get these guys on because they work during the day and I sleep during the night. I know it's kind of weird. One of these days we'll do that though. The feed is not bad. Oh, that's interesting. So it's just on my side. Oh, I guess that's better. Huh. Okay. All right. Well, that's good news. That is fascinating. Because on my side, it's really glitchy, like super, like every other word is. Tut, 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 tut. So it's kind of weird. I guess looking at myself is not going to be the best way. But cool. Okay, well that's good to know. Maybe this will be a better solution. I'll have to try it with guests again. Hopefully next week sometime with the guys, or maybe Saturday. We could try a Saturday. Maybe I'll see if they can do Dad. You do Saturday. Um, do a show talking about 25 and 26. What do we predict for the next year? This year was pretty crazy. I mean, I think we talked about that a little bit with Stephen Cox. I think when you think about it, you look back on it as like, hey, you had Bergoglio died, you get Prevost as the next supposed pope, Charlie Kirk's assassination, Trump, officially became president or was signed in for the second time. Pretty wild. I mean, pretty eventful year. Yeah, I mean, I wonder, in 26 what's going to happen. Hard to say. I mean, you're probably not going to get a new pope. You're not going to get a new president, so it's going to be less eventful. I guess you'll have the midterms where the Republicans are going to lose almost surely because they're kind of dumb right now. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, politically, I think I've really pretty much tuned out, which is nice. It's a lot better. Um, I've been back a little bit on social media, but yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately, after being off for a month, I lost my addiction, which is good. And so it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. It's just not that interesting. I mean, Facebook is only AI. Like, it's like you can't trust anything. And Twitter's a bit better with the AI, but not much. And it's just garbage. It's just not worth your time. And it's exactly what I predicted. That's my prediction for 26, that you're gonna have masses of people leaving the internet unless they fix AI. AI is going to be a big problem. I don't think it's going to be a problem in terms of like taking over the world, like some people think. I think that's kind of silly, but I think it's going to be a problem of people are just going to leave the internet. And that's a good problem. I mean, it's going to be a problem for Elon Musk, not for people's sanity or the good of the world. But yeah, it'll be an interesting year. I mean, I wonder if people are going to leave Twitter and go more to say YouTube. I think it'll be interesting to see, because then at least you can at least basically trust that, okay, that is Kevin Davis talking. While on Twitter, you see a news story, Facebook's unbelievable. like really, like I saw, scrolling for like a couple minutes, the same story about a cheerleader who got killed, unfortunately, and they said it was for they the story was for a different team, I think 4 or 5 times. So like first of all, it was Oakland or L.A., and then it was or Las Vegas, and then it was Denver, and then it was someone else, and they're just using the same story. It's just some AI bot going in and pumping out these fake stories, so no one's going to know it's true. It's a problem. I mean, that's going to be fascinating, and maybe that's something we could talk about. Yeah, Saturday might work, Dad. I'll put that out there on the group to see if the other guys can do Saturday. That would be fun. Maybe Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern, we can do a live show. Yeah, discussing this year and next. Um, yeah, it was what an interesting year, and good one for the podcast. I think we had some good shows. My dad just came out with one today. It's one of my favorites of the year for sure. Dad, that was awesome. About the 10 most frequent objections to state of Contism. Really, really well done. Actually, one of my favorites was also from Dad after Charlie Kirk's death. That really helped to explain, the American system and how it's not just evil. You know how the Black Pillars would want us to believe it's all evil. We need to just it needs to be all burned to the ground. And everyone knows my thoughts on this. I would love monarchy or feudal lordships. So I'm very old fashioned, but I think as you also know, I am not a fan of the Black Pillars. And and so that was a really nice video to kind of explain is like what is America and what's good and what's bad about it. And of course it was about Charlie Kirk, but it was actually kind of a bigger message. It was one of my favorite videos too. And we've had some good ones. We've had some really good shows. I love the interview I did with Bishop Waugh, and except for my internet connection, really fascinating. Really just a wise and humble man. Just really impressed me. Like really impressed me. And just in an hour, it's like wow, that's someone I would follow and then highly recommend. Really, really neat, really very impressive man and Bishop. Um, I don't know. There's been so many, but yeah, we're up over 17,000 subscribers. How many of those are active is hard to say, but the shows with Louis have obviously helped that as well. That's been one of the best series I think we've ever done, and it's really because of Louis. So huge thanks to him. We're wrapping up. I think we have 2 videos left. Probably going to be in like 3 weeks. Because we usually record on Wednesday, and of course Wednesday is Christmas and then New Year's, so that might be a while before we get a video from him. But I'll have to see. Maybe he's able to do it on a different day. But yeah, no, it's been an interesting year. Let me see. Can I share this on the stream? Yeah, I can. Half the accounts on Facebook are either dead people, their profiles lingering. Yeah, that could be, or AI bots. A lot is AI. I mean, crazy. It's bad. Like Facebook's real bad right now. Real bad. And it's kind of nice though, because it's also like, okay, I don't want to be on Facebook. I don't, there's no draw anymore. So that's a good thing. It means that I'm not going to be on the internet, and I think that's obviously for everyone a better thing to do is to go, I don't know, go out in the woods, go play with your kids, go read a book. I gotta get back to a book. I've started one and yeah, haven't been on it for a while because I got back on social media. You see the problem here? But nah, I'll get back to it. Gotta get off social media, and probably January 1st I'll get off again. I mean, I don't think I'll really miss it. But all right, everybody. I think that will do it for today. I will do, like I said, I will do another video on its own about the 2 different types of shows that I want to start producing. Anyone who's watching this, if you're interested, you can comment below. I'll watch the comments. Or even better, you can email me at kevin89davis@gmail.com. Kevin89davis@gmail.com. And let me know what you'd be interested in doing, if it's trying to write an episode or if it's trying to, be a voice actor, or especially if you can edit the entire play. That would be a big project, but rewarding. Then you can say, put your name behind it, produced and directed or whatever you want to say it by you, which is pretty cool. And as my dad would tell you, it's a lot of behind the scenes. Your face isn't on it, your voice isn't behind it, but it's rewarding stuff, man. Because you when that comes out and it sounds good and it flows together and it's a nice story, it's very rewarding stuff. Pablos, I agree. Family comes first. Becoming a father was a great thing for me. Amen to that. Yeah, that is the biggest thing really in life. Yeah, fulfilling your vocation, right? That's not everyone has the same vocation, obviously, but if your vocation is to be a father, then being able to fulfill that is truly rewarding. Yeah, it really is, and it's hard. My children are sick right now, so it's not always easy. But no, that is the biggest thing. Just the other day we just made sugar cookies. And it's just like those are the types of things that really stick for kids. The time they get to spend with you. It's not the things. It's not the toys. It's not the you know expensive, cars that drive around outside. It's the time. It's the time, the quality time that you spend with your children. Even if it's just doing work, if it's shoveling snow, they love just to go outside and shovel snow with me. Now, do they actually help? Obviously not. But someday maybe. But right now, no. But that just be involved, to be with you, and to be considered part of your group, kind of. That you want them to be there. It's really a thing that yeah, that I, speaking for myself, I can become. I can get away from that because I get too distracted on my phone. Obviously, that is not worth what you lose. So yeah, if I had a beer, I would toast to getting off social media. Well, everybody, thanks for those who are here. Yeah, I don't know much of a stream. Just wanted to check in and see again if this app works. Really rough on my side, but if it looks good on your side, that's good. It must mean that somehow it is, I don't know, cleaning up the image on its way out, which I don't quite understand, but that's cool. I'll take it, and maybe then I will stay with Riverside, and maybe I'll do one live show with other guests, and we'll see how that looks, and then I'll probably switch over to this program. Yeah. Anyway, I will do a quick message tomorrow, probably after mass, wishing everyone a very Merry Christmas. But I will wish you all now on December 23rd. Very fruitful, very holy, very Merry Christmas in the coming days, and a Happy New Year as it comes. And as I don't need to tell you, let's remember what the day is all about, and treat it as such. That being said, God bless you all. We'll see you next.